you're obsessed with the Connie Pheiff Show. It's about a lifestyle shift to move up or out.
Hey, what's your jam? What's the one thing that really drives you? What makes you unstoppable?
It's about opening a new door to live your dream.
People give up way too early on their dreams.
It's about enjoying the journey. It's about keeping it real.
Damn, now the interviewee is interviewing the interviewer. I like this.
It's all about you.
I knew there was something else I wanted to do. Stop taking shit so seriously. Y'all can do this. Take an outrageous look at life and laugh.
This is the Connie Pheiff Show.
We love your voice. We love your jam. You need to be on radio.
And now your host, Connie Pheiff.
Hey, you're listening to the Connie Pheiff Show. And I am just so excited. We have an awesome guest with us today. And so before we get there, so I just want y'all to know, because I want you to share this video. And every time you share a video, you go on Facebook, you're sharing it there, whether it's on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, we're all over the place. Share it. And we'll find you. Make sure you tag me, because then we're going to be giving you some amazing, amazing giveaways. You never know what it might be. It could be just a t-shirt, or maybe it could be a mug. Tabitha, what about, do you have anything that you want to give away?
Sure. I'd be happy to give away one of my books if anybody hashtag TA Laser.
Ooh, so make sure you do that. TA Laser, LASER, and tag her as well. And we'll make sure that you get that giveaway. We'll connect with you on Messenger. So make sure that you're sharing, keep commenting, and share, keep commenting. And because we are the Connie Pheiff Show. Now, who are we, and why the heck are you here listening to the Connie Pheiff Show? And you could be doing something so much better. But we think we are better because we are a radio show. It's a little edgy. You get it all unscripted, unedited, and you just never know what we're going to be saying. But we talk about how you can be moving up in the C-suite or getting out and living and building that business of your dreams. So make sure you share. So we just need to be moving on here. So today's let's say the title of today's show is Organization Culture Killer. I was like, okay, that's pretty ominous. But learning more about our guest today, let me tell you, I just love her. She's just phenomenal. She's a speaker. She's an author. And I love how she describes herself, that she is born without a mute button. And I warned you, you never know what's going to come out of our mouths here today. So this could be PG or this could be an X-rated. So just pay attention. We'll let you know. But welcome to the Connie Pheiff Show, Tabitha Laser.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm very happy to be here and share some information.
Well, great. So Tabitha, I was like, dang, this girl's got some stuff going on. So you talk about organization culture killer, which let's see, probably I would say a high percentage of organizations have a culture that is just a killer. I mean, I know my husband, he just left corporate, a company he was with for over 15 years. And he was just like, I'm done. Like, this culture is just awful. It's change, and rather than getting better. And what I'm seeing with a lot of clients that have even come to me, I mean, great for me, they want to be clients because they want to get out and they want to see how or scale their business. But at the same time, that's really hurting businesses today, because they're not building, they're not growing, they're just not. So what are some of your solutions or some of your recommendations that every leader really need to have in their toolbox so they can set the organization up for success, but also set the organization up where they stand out so they can attract the best of the best?
Yes, and it's great that you use the word toolbox, because that's really how I'm referring to the book. It's just the first in a series. I resigned from corporate in May as the global leader with Jacobs Engineering. And it was for a similar reason. I went from working with organization to organization to organization to then in a consulting role working with 10 organizations a month. of Fortune 500 and government agencies. And I kept seeing the same issues over and over and over. So you can't really kill a culture. A culture is what it is. But what a lot of organizations and senior leaders do is they make decisions, sometimes without balance or unthoughtful decisions that negatively impact their organization. And a lot of times they don't even know it.
Well, I think that's it. Like you said, they don't know it, but can they change? I mean, that's the thing. Can they change their behavior?
Yes. And in fact, when I first started the book series, the target market was the existing senior leaders. Okay. And after interviewing hundreds of leaders around the world, I got the message loud and clear that they're the wrong market because they already have learned their lessons. They're kind of set in their ways. There are some out there that are open to learning, but many of them are going to look at this and go, I know that already.
Right.
So we changed the market at that time and went to future leaders because they're the most impactful right now. And we don't really teach leadership skills
right.
a lot and around the world, honestly. So the book is the toolbox. It's the basic things that every leader needs to know. I've learned through the School of Hard Knocks and through other people sharing their learnings with me. Why do future leaders need to learn the hard way? Why can't they come out knowing what we've already learned and learn something different so we can start improving? I think that's part of the problem, right? We're in a downward cycle because we can repeat history's mistakes. And a lot of the folks in senior leadership don't share what they've learned because they had to work so hard to learn it. Right. But they're like, you need to learn it the hard way. Right. I did.
They're protecting their space. I didn't. I learned. But did they really learn if they're not sharing?
True. So learning is a big challenge in organizations today. I could give 1,000 examples, but a lot of times just think of one where you have some major event, unwanted event, and you do a root cause analysis and you get down to what really caused it. And it goes back to leadership. Do you ever see that? Or you do sometimes, but it's rare to see that actually make it on the end report and the action plan. They always try to point back to a process or a person and not to the system issues. And I think it's a combination of everything, but as long as they're protecting themselves, and a lot of that comes in with legal and other fears. As long as we do that, we're failing to learn. So that's really what this book is. My goal is, again, the whole series, a toolbox for leaders. Existing leaders can use it with the millennials coming in to help them come up to speed quickly so they can be more successful. But yeah, there's so many examples of things that we do with good intention that actually end up backfiring and harming our culture, what I call the culture of success, which is necessary for sustainable success. We can go out and hit the ground running and be dictator-like or directing rules. But at some point, I always say, some of the best companies are run by amazing people, but when that amazing person gets hit by a bus, the company falls apart. So you have to build a strong culture for sustainable success.
Really, from the bottom up. Is where you need to build that foundation if that foundation isn't there. And a lot of what I've seen over the years, I mean, you have this, this layer of people on the bottom and those at the top, we have our triangle, and those at the top aren't listening to the people at the bottom, those who are actually in the trenches doing the work. They're not listening to what they have to say, and they're making the decisions, like you said, with all best intentions, but it's also, and many times, ego-driven because they don't want to be listening to other individuals. And then again, that does not make for a great culture or a great leader in an organization.
Right. In fact, in the first book, I define what I call is a concrete barrier, and flip your triangle upside down and put the senior leaders under the foundation of the organization because they define the foundation. And in doing so, if they allow the culture killers, the deadly practices, or a lot of times encourage those, that concrete barrier gets thicker. And then above that is their organization that they're building, right, for success.
Right.
So what happens is if they don't define a strong foundation, then it's like building their business on quicksand. It may stand for a while, but it's going to collapse.
So what's the magic for them to find that balance between being a leader, listening to, and flipping that foundation, as you said? So what is the magic of making that happen so then they really find that balance?
There's quite a few things, but I ultimately believe that setting up your foundation, so your mission, vision, values, and expectations to attain success, and clearly defining what success looks like.
Okay.
Because the companies that change what success looks like every day fail quickly, right? So I think that foundation is necessary. I refer to the system I've kind of put together over the years with the best of the little bits here and there. I call it opals.
Okay.
So, and if you hear about management systems, a lot of times they'll either focus on performance, or they'll focus on safety, or they'll focus on something, where opals is actually your operating and performance. So you're going to look at what do you need to operate to meet your definition of success, and then what performance measures do you need to actually be able to say you're being successful.
Right. And that's what they're missing, that accountability piece.
It is. It's missing that. I jokingly say, but when we focus on anything, which is what we tend to do, especially now with big data, right?
Yes.
We need to fix this. Knee-jerk reaction, we fix it. We focus on things.
Well, I think you're right. It's that knee-jerk reaction. And for example, I have somebody that I'm working with, and I'm not going to mention any company names, but he's frustrated because senior management, every quarter they go to these leadership meetings and they come back, we're going to implement something new, rather than implementing something, seeing it through, and then making those adjustments. They're constantly chasing that next shiny object. And I see a lot of entrepreneurs doing that as well, because we're all people. And it's just people. And it's like, okay, I know this isn't working, so let's shift, let's pivot. You got to work through that. You need to work through what you have and to figure out why it's not working, and then make those changes.
Right. I call it balance or thoughtful change. In fact, behind me, the picture is actually a impact decision balance scale that I'm building. I've got the design patent pending. And the reason is it's not a yes, no. It's not a right, wrong. We need to actually consider all impacts. The people, the performance, and also the public, which involves environmental and other things. So we need to take those things into consideration. And then to add to what you just said, we do a horrible job at long-term planning. And it's getting worse as we get CEOs who come in and they say, okay, I'm going to work for 2 years and I've got this agreement that if I sell the organization and leave, I get this huge paycheck. Right. So with that, we're not getting leaders that are focusing on the value of the long term.
They're not committed.
Which was the only reason we had the success we have in the past. And that's why it feels like things are getting worse, because people are getting in, they're there on their own agenda. They're not having good long-term plans. And again, go back to focus, I call it fuckus, because we fuckus everything up when we focus too much on one thing. So they need those well-balanced plans in order to, sorry if I curse, and you need to bleep that out.
Oh, no, that's who we are. We're totally fine. You're okay. I'm writing it down so I can remind people at the end.
I just did it at a presentation with middle school kids in the audience, and they just got a kick out of it. But we need to have those good long-term plans. And what I try to explain to leaders, I do a lot of coaching, as you do, is with that plan, you should identify everything that everybody's doing in order to be successful. And if something new comes up, imagine having a truck bed full of stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's your plan. And if something new comes up, if you put something new in that truck, something's going to fall out. So you either need to figure out what you want to take out and put for later, or you need to get a bigger truck.
Right.
And that's that thought process that we need to be going through when making decisions that we don't right now.
Yeah, we're not. And we need to take a really quick break.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I know. we just keep on talking, but we'll be right back. Hang in there. The Connie Pheiff Show is heard everywhere. You can find The Connie Pheiff Show on most of your favorite networks. It's time to now recognize and thank our major networks for all of their support. In the house, we have Conscious Business Radio, C-Suite Radio, Transformation Radio, iHeartRadio. We are also heard on Google Play, Apple, Radio, Stitcher, and so many more that I just can't keep up with them all. I'm Connie Pheiff, your unstoppable diva. Learn more about our gym and how we can work together at my fancy schwanky website, ConniePheiffShow.com. I'll see you over there. Until then, like, share. Now back to the show. Okay, we are back with our unstoppable guest today, Tabitha Laser. Now, remember to share, because we have some giveaways. Tabitha has a book she's giving away, and I have some tchotchkes that I'm going to be giving away here as well. So make sure that you share, and let us know, and we'll make sure that we get those things out to you. So, Tabitha, I would love to keep talking about the culture killer and the fuckus. Okay, I think we all need to be like just every day, like fuckus. But we have to move on. And so a couple questions that I always ask is, why are you unstoppable?
Why am I unstoppable?
Yes.
I believe it's because I'm so passionate. I have been since I was little.
Okay.
Call it my OCD, or maybe I'm, something else, but I'm extremely passionate. And I have kids. And they're going to grow up in this future. And if I can't help fix it, I'm worried for them and their children. So the passion's multiplied because I see a future without leaders, and I want to help grow our leaders to be more successful. I mean, look where we're at. People don't want to go to work. There's depression. There's no loyalty anymore.
No.
What are my kids in for? Yeah. I don't want that for them. So the passion is there. And anybody who's ever worked with me, you can ask any of them. I'm passionate to a fault. I've had a lot of coaching given to me on, how to rein in my passion sometimes, because it can be taken wrong. But it really comes from that desire to really just make the world a better place.
Well, we'll cut from the same there, and that you said that you've been reined back on that. I'm myself as well. I mean, I wear my heart on my sleeve. I just put it out there, and I've been blindsided. And it's like, okay, why did I do that? But it's who I am. I mean, I want to help. I want to be out there, and what you're saying about your children, what's going to be here for them. I myself have thought about that, because we are at a stage. I mean, this is a generation that, again, they're not producing really. They're not growing anything. We need to be manufacturing that, and it's all around technology. And there's that lack of connection, lack of communication. Really, that's happening when you talk to machines. And, we do need to find a balance with that.
Right.
Technology can be our friend, but also at the same time, it's increased depression. It's increased suicide among kids. I mean, it's really sad to see, to see what's going on.
Yeah. I look at it like 40 years ago, we were advancing leaps and bounds, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And now we're continuing to try to advance without advancing. So what's the next big iPhone, right? What's the next, next big this? And working longer hours, working harder, educating our folks less.
Right.
I'm shocked at, when I speak with folks and say, okay, what do you do for competency for your folks?
Right.
They're nothing. They're responsible for that on their own in a lot of organizations. It's getting worse. And I really see that we're trying to force growth where it's not there versus looking at the areas of opportunity for real development and growth.
Development. And companies at one time, they were spending billions of dollars on training their people. I mean, that was basically part of the package when you went to work for that company. And they really have pulled back now. They're like, no, like, these people have to do it themselves. And by doing that, they're really shooting themselves in the foot, because the population is decreasing. And the millennials are, they're going up, or not the millennials, but the baby boomers, they're off doing their thing now. So they need to be attracting really the best and the brightest people to come work in the company and continue training them, because we always need to continually be training ourselves and our people. And by not doing that, they really are harming themselves to the point where, they could be closing the door in the business if they don't.
Right.
If they don't take notice for that.
Right.
So what's next for you? I mean, where do you go from here? I know you have the books.
Right.
And you're speaking. So where do you go from here? What's next?
Yeah. So my passion is really, I was in an interview once when I left Jacobs, that a lot of folks, the sharks swarm in, and they're like, well, what do you want to do? And I said, I want to make the world a better place. And they just laughed at me. They said, I've never had anybody say that in an interview. That's so weird. And so that's why my husband went back to work in real estate, because really my passion isn't making money. It's on helping impact positive change. That's my journey. Right. I had a leap of faith.
Okay.
That took me on this path. And so the future for me is I want to continue writing these books with all the learnings, continue to work with other leaders, because, I don't know everything.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Most of the stuff I've learned is because I do it wrong on a constant basis.
Well, let me tell you, I have more education by the School of Hard Knocks, by doing things wrong, getting blindsided, not knowing what you don't know. That's been quite an education just in that alone.
We could probably have a whole nother discussion that could, go into the future books.
Right.
But the intent's to keep writing these books and get the series out. I have 10 sets.
Oh, nice.
First set, and there's 4 books in this set.
Okay.
They're already almost done, but I'm just doing one at a time. And then when they're done, my goal is to write a collegiate program that I could go to all the colleges and help them develop a leadership program.
Okay.
Teach the leaders. And then in tandem, I'm working with my children to actually turn these books into child leadership books.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, for either, probably for grade school level.
Okay.
Because again, we don't teach leadership skills. We go to school, we have
young.
to take a test, right? We have to take a test. We have to do our homework. We have to do what we're told. We have to follow the rules. Even if we lead a group, it's following those instructions. Very little leadership. In fact, the presentation I did last week was at a college. And I'd say 90% of the attendees were university students.
Okay.
And they lined up around the building to talk with me and get their book. And every one of them, the same comment. I've had no leadership training, or I've had one class and it really wasn't leadership. Just learning body language for these kids was eye-opening.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, just basics.
Yeah, they're not being taught those simple skills. I mean, those everyday living skills in school anymore. I mean, my gosh, I don't even want to be teaching them writing anymore. I mean, how could you not?
Right. Well, you got that. We got online training.
Right.
We've got teaching to the test now. I was taught a lot with my OCD and problems. I had teachers that worked with me to teach me coping mechanisms.
Okay.
They don't do that now. Now they take my youngest son has the same issues I did, but worse. And they just say he's a bad student. He's a disruption. They don't work with him because they got to take their standardized test.
Right. And everybody's together. I for one, am against that. Some kids need more attention than others.
Yeah.
And then the ones that don't, you don't want to take away from them. And my daughter's actually, she works with children with autism, special needs kids. And she all the time, she's like, oh my gosh, she's like, what are they doing? What is the system doing? She said, it's really, they're putting kids in our class that have nothing wrong with them. And that's what she's saying. I need to give these kids extra attention. And then these other kids are just sitting here and they're not learning anything. And so and I know they've made changes to it, the No Child Left Behind, even when that was around for the longest time, it really did not serve our kids well.
No, it's I'm going through it. I was almost teary-eyed yesterday to see, I went with my child to the therapist and to see how much he's struggling. We've tried medicating and that doesn't even work. And I was against that, because I didn't medicate as a child. So I really have a passion for helping improve our leadership competency in the future, make things better. So really that's my path. I want to go around and speak. I want to educate the existing leaders on how they can help millennials. That's something they're missing right now. The millennials, and I consider myself an early born millennial.
Okay.
They get out there and they don't put up with anything because they've all been told I get a trophy. Right. They're super smart. But
everybody's super smart. Everybody passes. There was a teacher I think was in Florida who was let go because she gave some kids a 0 on homework that was never handed in. She gave them a 0 and she was let go because the school policy is you have to give them at least a 50%.
Wow. Right. But
I was like, really? Like, where did that come from?
Yeah. Yeah.
How are kids learning?
But the crazy part is they're coming out smarter than you and I ever were because they're teaching to the test.
Right.
But they have less patience for confrontation.
True.
So
yeah.
Where you and I learned from the School of Hard Knocks,
right.
We also had people that swarmed in with their wings and put them around us and mentored us and coached us.
Yes.
And helped us grow. And these kids aren't sticking around long enough to get that.
No.
The whole stigma around millennials, nobody wants to swarm in and help them, right?
Right.
And they're over, 50% of our workforce right now?
They are. Well, my entire team are millennials. And I mean, every day I'm like, fuck us.
You're killing me here. Wrong use of the word.
I know. But I didn't want to say the other one. But at the same time, they're excellent workers.
They are, as long as you keep them engaged.
Keep them engaged.
And make them feel valued.
Make them feel valued. Work with them where they're at. They'll get it done. But it's just not getting it done the way I want to get it done.
Yeah. And a part of that problem is as long as you do that, but the one time they have the confrontation.
Right.
They're either anti-you.
Right.
Or they fly the coop. They've got to learn to deal with confrontation, and that's where my passion comes in. That's why I called it culture killers, right? Let's tell them
so true.
Dirty,
right?
And so they get exposure to that, and then when they get in the real world, they go, "Oh, wait, I know this could be coming, and this is how I can cope with it."
Right. So we could just keep going.
Yeah.
We really touched on the topic.
I'm so passionate about this. I could go
on
know.
Forever. So where can our listeners find you? Where can they learn more about you?
Yeah. So my website www.talaser LASER. A lot of people put the Z with laser tag, but it's an S.
Okay.
.com. There's plenty there, and they can contact me through there. They can find me on LinkedIn. I'm very active there as well.
Well, thanks for being here. The work that you are doing is just phenomenal and really, truly, truly needed.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me.
You're welcome. So for everybody out there listening, and this is my new word for today, fuck us. Because we are going to continue moving ideas forward and keeping the passion of life activated. Now, remember, we have feature advertising available. Just head on over to the ConniePheiffShow.com to learn more on how you can broadcast and have your story heard everywhere. So here's my little commercial for today. If you're wanting to scale your lifestyle business, if you want to scale it, even if you're in corporate and you're saying, I want to get out, I need to know how to do this, you want to get over to talentconcierge.co. That's Co, to learn more to see if you qualify to get the business coaching that you're looking for and be represented by one of the best publicists in the industry. Talent Concierge is working together with the world's most daring minds who keep the passion of life activated because we're all unstoppable together. I'll leave you with this thought for today. Success and excuses do not work together. If you're full of excuses, you can kiss success goodbye. You're listening to the Connie Pheiff Show, and if you like what you're hearing, like us and share us with your friends and colleagues, and subscribe with us on iTunes. Until next time, activate your power and keep the passion of life activated. Hey y'all, it's Connie Pheiff. Thank you for listening to the Connie Pheiff Show. Check back often. You don't want to miss any of the good stuff. If you like what you hear and would like to be a guest on the show, head over to theconniefeifshow.com to apply. While you're there, check out our amazing advertising opportunities that will put you right in front of your perfect client. I will see you over there. Do yourself a favor this week. Activate your power and be unstoppable together.